What's up, everyone? It is Jason, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to keep it real with you, and I want to give you some Jani real talk about kind of the foundation of SCE and the thought process that led me to building a company like SCE. And to be very candid with you and very transparent with you, I don't know if I could ever replicate exactly what has happened to me, my life, my journey, and the company that I own if I really tried. Time, finances, energy, effort, and the stars aligning allowed me to create this insane opportunity that surrounds me today. And I'm sharing this with you so that I can be very direct, and also so that you have realistic expectations into your future, your business, things that you have going on. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible to do what I've done or what we have, or just building a business in general. I would just be cautious of you chasing someone else's dream, someone else's plan, if you're setting out to do that in place of your own. Now, I think the realness of this conversation goes back to the beginning. And, when I started DJing, I never wanted to own a company. I never dreamt of owning a company. And as a matter of fact, when the foundation of SCE started to come together, it wasn't by plan. It wasn't by mission statement. It wasn't with an end in mind or an end in sight. It was just how things were happening in my space, in my world, and candidly out of frustration as a result of the company I was working with and people really just being shady with me. Now, that story probably connects to a lot of people that are watching this, and what led me to kind of going off on my own and trying to do one-off events for different people in the wedding space, in the marquee space, in the event industry as a whole, was I just felt that I was in a position where I couldn't grow. That was really the core reason why I wanted to think outside the box. I felt that I brought a lot to the table. I felt that I was being looked over with opportunities, and I was willing to do whatever it took to basically create opportunities for myself. With that whole thought process in mind, what I slowly had to do is unravel the space that I was all tangled up in, and that was working for another company. And I basically started inserting some space into my world to allow me the opportunity to really think through, is this the thing that I actually want to do? Now, I got to a point where I was so frustrated that I just couldn't operate creatively in the space that I was in. People were taking events and putting them into this secondary CRM event management system, basically hiding them from the business. Events that were being requested of me were being told that I wasn't available when I was available. It just wasn't a good situation. And it got to a point where, I felt that there's personal involvement in life and there's business involvement in life. And both of those places for me were not really the best fit for myself, for the things that I wanted to do, and my goals as a DJ, as a performer, as an event host, as someone that was helping amazing people celebrate amazing moments in time. So what did I do? I separated myself from that organization as a whole. I fulfilled all of my obligations, and I became very selective on the events that I basically put into my world. I wanted to make sure that I connected to the people that were planning the event in some capacity. I wanted to make sure that my passion or my creativity or the things that were like very inspiring to me lined up with either the vision of the couple, the vibe of the couple, or the family of the couple. I wanted to make sure that I was doing events that I was going to be proud of, and not ones that when I was at events I was just like, ugh, like, what am I doing this for? I wish I was somewhere else. And it took a little while to grow. I can tell you that in my specific situation, there was a void in the industry in my area for events that I wanted to throw based on my experiences as an individual in the world, right? My friend circle started getting married. We would go to these weddings, these events, and they were like just okay, if that, being very kind. And I believe that people deserved more. They expected more, they deserved more, and it wasn't available. Over time, I started to do events, and I would pour my heart, my soul, my everything into events. And you watching this probably can relate to it. What that allowed me to do is to really just build a very small network that still is almost intact at this point in my life from where it started. And yes, I still manage relationships from the beginning. And it just allowed me to help people celebrate their way on their terms with our influence in terms of technology and basically working with people and just getting people to think bigger and to dream bigger for their events and not settle anymore. And that was the foundation of SCE. Now, as I started to build this company out, it wasn't with plan. I started to get hit up by a lot of people that I had a lot of respect and admiration for, that had basically stumbled on content that they found on the new platform called YouTube, or on things that were shared on different social media platforms back in the later 2000s period, sub 2010, circa 2010 timeframe. And they would reach out to me and say, hey, I heard that you were doing this. If you ever have an opportunity, I'd love to work with you. I like what I'm seeing. I love what I'm seeing. And if there's anything I can ever do to help you, I'd love to do it. Now, what I didn't realize was happening is I was attracting a lot of attention by way of content that I was releasing on different platforms. And what I didn't realize that was happening is I was being put on the radar of people that were colleagues or competitors in the industry, as well as people that were planning events in the industry. And it just opened up universes for me. Now, over time, things kind of landed in different directions. I started to create a lot of demand for myself and for the company SCE, and with no resources, I was completely booking out my calendar. So I was essentially sending events to other people. So how did this company even come together? I was doing the right thing. I was taking care of people, and in turn they were taking care of me. They were referring me, and I had a lot of what I would call brand ambassadors, people that I had worked with or that experienced some of my events, and they were sharing my information with their network. And it was almost like going viral in the days of before going viral, where I would give out 50 or 70 or 80 business cards at a wedding of 125 people, and the phone just started to ring. What essentially happened from there is I would fully book out my calendar. I couldn't do any more work, and I did have one or two people that were available within my company, but as the company and the content started to evolve and grow, I started to connect with people like Jeff Scott Gould and Tony T. Netto and Paul Knox. Still, that team is intact here at SCE today. And their network of people started to reach out to me. And as we had an abundance of work, they were in a position where they were maybe looking for work, and it just kind of sorted itself out. See, when I started SCE, I never really did it with a plan to build a business. I tried to treat the people that were working with me as if I was treating myself in terms of how things were paid out. What were the advantages of the situation? How could I help someone get into a position where they were able to live their life stream? I essentially just treated everyone as if and how I was treating myself. It's crazy how the stars align for people at different points in time. And I guess my advice to anyone watching this is, if you try to plan things out with the straight line to where you're going, chances are you might not get to where you want to go. And I'm saying this not to be pessimistic in any way. I just want to be realistic with you. If you plan to get to a certain place, sometimes you have to take the scenic route. Sometimes you can get on the highway. Sometimes you might have to take a right turn or a left turn. Sometimes you might get a flat tire on that journey. And it's your job to kind of figure it out, to fix it, to go where the road goes, and just live it. I think the keys to anyone that are looking to build a business is, yes, you need to set your mind on a specific target of where you want to go. I think that's a reasonable thing for anyone. I think you need to be very adaptive to the world that surrounds you and to look at the opportunities that are being presented to you. And you need to bob and weave with them, the good, the bad, the ugly, and you have to enjoy the journey along the way. The bumps, the bruises, the victories, the things that you are super proud of, and every step of the process. I think if I was to share anything with anyone trying to build a business as a whole and to be incredibly real with you, consistency is everything. Lead with care. Treat other people the way you want to be treated, and work incredibly hard at it. You know, when I think back to the beginning of SCE as the company started to grow, I wanted to be successful for a number of different reasons. I wanted to prove everyone wrong that said I couldn't do something. I wanted to shine brighter than some of the people that kind of took up a lot of the real estate in the sky that I was trying to get into. And I don't mean to use such broad analogies and whatnot. I just think it comes down to care, hard work, consistency, and being able to adapt to the world that either is around you, is presenting itself to you, and you have to believe and trust, right? Like, you have to believe people when they want to ride with you. You have to give people opportunities. You have to give people an opportunity to thrive and not just survive. And yeah, I know I'm kind of spinning all over the place, but I hope you connect to this. Anyway, I wanted to kind of do a real talk, Jason Jani story time with you on the background of SCE, talking about the foundation of the business and how we all got to where we are today. Anyway, it's been an incredible journey, and although there has not always been like rainbows and butterflies along the way, I wouldn't change it for anything. As much as I say I never thought or never even wanted to do what I do right now, if you were to ask me 10 or 15 years ago, hey Jason, one day you're going to be doing weddings as a DJ, owning a business that specializes in wedding entertainment, I would have looked at you and been like, you're effing crazy. There's no way I would do this because I don't want to do that. It's not like my thing. And fast forward, after the journey we've been through as an organization, as an individual, as a business owner, after the pandemic, after all the things, the wins, the losses, and everything in between, the relationships that have become rock solid, the relationships that maybe even fell apart as a contrast, I wouldn't change anything for anyone. I wouldn't change anything. I am so grateful for this world around me, and I believe I was put on this planet to do what I do now as a DJ, as a performer, as someone that's sharing stories with people on YouTube and everything in between, and I hope you guys can connect to it. Anyway, I don't mean to be so transparent, so direct, and so real with you, but I thought it would be good for the channel and the people that are supporting my channel to hear this from me. If you have questions about anything I've said before, it didn't really connect to you, anything at all, good, bad, whatever, throw it in the comments underneath this video, and do me a favor and this channel a favor. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button and share the video with someone that could benefit from it. Anyway, stay the course, be consistent, live your dream every day, and work really hard. Good things happen from there. Anyway, I'm Jason. Thanks for watching.